Exponents, squares, and cubes. When raising a number to a power, the number we start with is called the base, and the number we raise it to is called the exponent. The entire expression is called a power. This would be read as 2 to the 4th power. Just as multiplication is repeated addition, exponents are repeated multiplication. This example, 3 to the power of 5, or you could say 3 to the 5th power, is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times itself 5 times. In this case, 3 is the base and 5 is the exponent. The base 3 is multiplied by itself 5 times. Exponents, or powers, are a quick way to write repeated multiplication, just as multiplication was a quick way to write repeated addition. These are all equivalent. 2 to the 4th power is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 16. In this example, 2 is raised to the 4th power. That means that 2 is multiplied by itself 4 times. When a number is written as a power, it is written in exponential form. If you multiply the base and simplify the answer, the number is now written in standard form. For example, power, so the exponential form, is 3 to the 5th. Expanded notation would be 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. In standard form would be 243. Try these. Write 5 to the 3rd in standard form. So 5 to the 3rd is 5 times 5 times 5. So 5 times 5 is 25 times 5 equals 125. Then write this in exponential form. Well, the number being multiplied by itself a bunch of times is 7. So our base is 7. And how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 to the 7th. And here are our answers, 125 and 7 to the 7th. You can say 7 to the 7th. You don't have to say 7 to the 7th power. A number raised to the 2nd power can be said to be squared. That's because the area of a square of length x is x squared. So here's a square. If the sides are all equal and they have a length x, the area of the square is x times x, x squared. The product of two equal factors, so two numbers, a number multiplied by itself once, is the square of the number. So here we have a square where the length of the sides is 5. So 5 times 5 gives you the area of the square. There are 25 little squares inside of the big square. The side length of the square is 5. Therefore, the area of the square is 25. The area of this square is 49. What is the length of each side of the square? Discuss with your partner or group. The length of each side must be 7 because 7 times 7 is 49. 2 to the 2nd power is 2 squared, and 4 is the square of 2. 3 to the 2nd power is 3 squared, and 9 is the square of 3. 4 to the 2nd power is 4 squared, and 16 is the square of 4. The area of a square whose sides have length 5 is 25. What would be the area of a square with side lengths of 6 be? 6 squared is 36. When you square whole numbers, the result is called a perfect square. You'll use these perfect squares often. A number raised to the 3rd power can be said to be cubed. That's because the volume of a cube of length x is x cubed. So x, actually I'll write it down here, x, and x. To find the volume of this cube, you multiply x times x times x. Raising a number to the power of 3 is called cubing it. 2 to the 3rd is read as 2 cubed, and the answer is 8. 3 to the 3rd is read as 3 cubed, and the answer is 27. 4 to the 3rd is read as 4 cubed, and the answer is 64. And that comes from the fact that the volume of a cube whose sides have length 2 is 2 times 2 times 2, 2 cubed, which is 8, and so on. The volume of a cube can be found by length times width times height. But since a cube has all equal sides, length equals width equals height. Therefore, the volume is just length times length times length, or length cubed. The product of three equal factors is the cube of the number. For example, 5 cubed is 125. Go ahead and find the perfect cubes of all of the whole numbers between 1 and 10. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, whereas 2 times 2 times 2, well, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, and so on. So 7 times 7 times 7 equals 343, 9 times 9 times 9 is 729, and so on. What number was cubed? Or you could say, what number was raised to the third power to get an answer of 125? Well, the answer was 5, because 5 cubed is 125. What number was cubed to get an answer of 1? Well, that would be 1. 1 cubed is 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. What number was cubed to get an answer of 8? That was 2. 2 cubed equals 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. All right, and here are the answers. Complete the Venn diagram to classify these numbers as perfect squares and perfect cubes. And here's the answer. So 96, 200, and 333 are not perfect squares or perfect cubes, whereas 1 and 64 are both perfect squares and perfect cubes. 256 and 361 are perfect squares, while 125 is a perfect cube.